Okay, I will call this meeting to order. Attendance,
Trustee Harvey. Absent. Trustee Reeves. Here. Trustee Gaines is absent. Trustee Buffalo.
here.
Trustee Adams.
Here,
We have a quorum.
thank you. Public comment. Okay, I will call this meeting to order. Pursuant to board Attendance. policy number
Trustee
2350,
Harvey.
public comment may be
Absent.
limited to 3 minutes. per
Trustee
person.
Reeves.
All
Here.
speakers who would like to.
Trustee Gaines is absent.
Agenda must submit
Trustee
a public
Buffalo.
comment Here. prior to the board
Trustee
president
Adams.
Here. Or the
We have a
recording
quorum.
starts. Thank you. For the point in the, at the meeting. Public comment. The agenda item is. Okay, I will call this meeting to order. Pursuant to board
Attendance.
policy number
Trustee Harvey.
2350, public comment may be
Absent.
limited to 3 minutes. per
Trustee
person.
Reeves.
All
Here.
speakers who would like to.
Trustee Gaines is absent.
Agenda must submit
Trustee
a public
Buffalo.
comment Here. prior to the board
Trustee
president
Adams.
Here. Or the
We have a
recording
quorum.
Thank you. For the point in the, at the meeting. Public comment. The agenda item is. Okay, I will call this meeting to order. Pursuant to. board
Attendance.
policy number 2350. Do we have any public comments on non-agenda items? Okay. Okay, we're going to reconvene to the open public session. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Rivera,
Present.
trustee Harvey,
Here.
trustee Reeves,
Here.
trustee Gaines,
Here.
trustee Buffalo.
Here.
Trustee Adams.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I'll ask Mr. Buffalo to lead us in the pledge.
You all again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Buffalo. May I hear a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
Second.
Any further discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. Report of closed session action. No reportable actions took place in closed session. Item 10, public comments. Public comment announcement. Pursuant to board policy number 2350, public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person. All speakers who would like to comment regarding a matter on the agenda must submit a public comment card to the board president or the recording secretary before the point in the meeting at which the agenda item is called. Public comment cards are available at the information table in the middle of the theater or from the recording secretary or online. Thank you. And we do have one public comment card. Mr. Bowen. Sorry, Dr. Bowen.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
they're asking that whoever is not speaking to turn the microphones off so that we do not have feedback.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. It's a pleasure and an honor. President-elect, Mr. Wang, Ms. McClure. First, I'd like to say congratulations for all those who are receiving tenure tonight. Vice President Lauren Helsper shared data at the prior board meeting on investigations conducted at AVC. She shared, seemingly proudly, the following, quote, "You can see that campus reporting is increasing, which is a good thing because that means people are aware of their rights and resources and making us aware of their environment. This is evidence that the administration sees an increase in complaints as progress. I believe that a true measure of success is not the volume of reports, but the creation of an environment where fewer complaints are necessary. The priority should not be reactive, it should be preventative. Are we training employees to behave professionally, to respect one another, to foster a workplace that does not necessitate these complaints? It appears the goal now is to grow the number of investigations, to create a culture of reporting rather than a culture of resolution, which is the example this administration sets. President Jennifer Zillette said at the prior board meeting in her concluding remarks, "Before anyone protests, they have First Amendment rights to say whatever they want. They also recognize the right doesn't mean there are not consequences. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's the law of physics." Now, I am a physicist, graduated from Cal, go Bears. Newton's third law governs the physical world, but leadership, that is a choice. The laws of physics do not require suppression of speech or retaliation against those who speak out. The equation President Zillette presents is not physics, it is authoritarianism. What message does this send? That dissent is punished, that speaking out will have consequences. Free speech was only acknowledged as a warning, not a right. Are you kidding me? This should concern all of you. This institution already discourages public participations in meetings like this. It discourages speaking out against wrongdoing. And now we see these ideas openly voiced by our leadership, which shocked me when I heard it. Poor leadership is reactionary. It governs through fear. It preserves itself rather than its principles. It turns problems into data points and accountability into an illusion. It punishes the outspoken and shields the powerful. Good leadership does not accept rising complaint numbers as progress. Good leadership does not weaponize First Amendment rights as a warning. Good leadership fosters trust, ensures accountability, and creates a culture where fairness is not just a talking point, but a practice. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on, I'd like to read a brief statement. We appreciate all comments from members of the public who spoke orally today, as well as those who have presented written comments to the trustees before meetings. However, as we have said in past meetings, we are not allowed to deal with specific matters away from these meetings. Furthermore, the board establishes the goals and direction of the district, and we rely on district staff to achieve those goals. Recently, we have received some written comments from members of the public that have not included executive staff, which is problematic because we then have to forward the communications to executive staff to get them up to speed. As a courtesy, I would politely request that members of the public include the district's president on all communications to the board. This streamlines the process and helps the board address the issues raised in these communications. We don't want to infringe on the public's ability to talk to elected representatives, but we need help making sure that the information is timely presented and issues are adequately addressed. Thank you. Let's see, we're on presentation, sabbatical leave, Ariel Tamaga.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm grateful to be here to present on my sabbatical projects. My name is Ariel Satarain Tumbaga, and I'm AVC's full-time Spanish instructor. I teach Spanish courses at AVC, including Heritage Spanish courses and Spanish 203, Introduction to Hispanic Literatures. As a teacher-scholar, I contribute to academic knowledge in Mexican and Chicano literature, film, and culture. For example, I have published 4 research articles and a book through the University of Arizona Press. The 2020 COVID-19 pandemic pushed Spanish instruction online, and I fully realized then the value of the pricey Spanish textbooks we use now. These programs come with high-quality textbooks and an amazing online application that includes great instructional videos, online assignments, and a battery of assessment for spoken, written, and listening standards. But the price for these materials are a financial burden on our students. A chunk of our students have relied heavily on AVC's Books Helps program, and a small population of students refuses to purchase a textbook, all but assuring their failure in Spanish courses. In 2002, the prospect of finding an open access resource textbook sparked my interest, but it was difficult to find materials, and the few materials I found were disorganized and unappealing. Additionally, I couldn't find comparable online exercises. In spring of 2024, my research finally led me to online presentations of EOR materials, on one of which included a program with a Santa Monica colleague of mine, to whom I reached out because it offered an acceptable textbook option and a free homework program compatible with the Canvas LMS that we use in California community colleges. He referred me to the project lead, a Spanish instructor from Chabot College. They had developed Tarea Libre First Year Spanish, a program promising 1,400 pre-made exercises of basic Spanish learner work. We met face-to-face at a conference. She graciously exchanged many email messages with me in fall and agreed to several Zoom meetings in fall to train me on that software. So I started working on choosing and modifying the Spanish textbook. I finally settled, with her blessing, on the Chabot College's Spanish 1A book to remix and modify for AVC's Spanish 101 courses. For weeks, I undertook the task of learning how to shuffle. They call it remixing chapters, sections, pages, and then sometimes making my own pages and inserting them in. Trial and error was key, and I occasionally deleted hours of hard work by accident. Overall, the process was challenging, and it felt chaotic, despite my attempts to stay well organized and to be consistent. The final result is an open access Spanish 101 textbook that closely mirrors the standards of our current Spanish 101 courses. A side-by-side comparison of the two first chapters, mine is to the left on the PowerPoint, reveals a textbook that's a little bit more robust in material. I then turned to Adapt Libre Text to create a bank of well-organized and free assignments for our students. Now, a 5-credit language course can have upwards of 300 assignments, which amounts to about 10 assignments per grammatical concept. This is especially true in an online language course in which the instructor must compensate for 5 hours of in-class teaching per week. I commenced learning how to use the Adapt platform in which Tarea Libre is embedded. The Adapt platform is indeed rich in Spanish language vocabulary and grammar exercises, and it's Canvas LMS compatible. I did not anticipate that it would be overwhelming in quantity and would require a lot of exercise by exercise curation of materials, which needed to be divided into assignable units, first by chapter, then by grammar concept, and finally by assignment. Again, the process was slow, and I occasionally found myself recreating assignments that I had already done because I accidentally deleted something, and so on and so forth. Despite the massive materials, I found gaps that needed to be supplemented with exercises like Canvas quizzes and discussions. In the end, I was able to create banks that were neatly divided into immediately implementable assignments. And because the textbook and homework materials closely mirror our current course offerings, I will conduct a trial run of this OER ZTC course in fall 2025, with no disruption to the learning of students who continue on to Spanish 102 in spring 2026. Again, I very much appreciate having had the time to dedicate to learning this software, to creating the sample course and its materials, and I can confidently say that were it not for my semester-long sabbatical, it would have been very unlikely. So thanks so much for listening.
Questions or comments from the board?
I just want to say that this is really interesting because there are people out there who are creating curriculum and trying to redesign curricular materials so that they'll fit better. Did you consider assessment at any time for Spanish 101?
Yes, I based it on the Spanish 101 core, the course of record, and so that was the center of creating the course.
And
So,
will you administer those assessments as part of your action research?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
thank
so that'll be
you.
part of what I do in fall.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, as someone that has taken one of the Spanish classes at AVC, I know the software and I know how robust it is and how difficult it must have been to recreate that. So I must say it's very impressive, and I do hope that the students are able to access it and have more access to Spanish classes from now on.
Thank you. It really is for the students, right? For you all, not for me.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Thank you. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Item 11.2, update on the Palmdale Center.
President Adams, members of the Board of Trustees, President Zealot, Patty. As we know, who all organizes this, makes this happen, so we acknowledge her incredible work. Welcome to the Palmdale Center. For the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to work here and to see the lives of students and staff work together to see success. see lives change. I wonder, as I listen to Dr. Tumbaga, how many professors, or when I listen to Dr. Bowen, how many physicists, or when I look at Michael, how many attorneys are coming through our very doors. At the Palmdale Center, we truly believe in the potential of students to succeed. But that success does not happen on my shoulders alone. Short video slides that show this, I apologize, there is no sound, but represents the work that's being done. I hit the button and there it goes. It goes fairly quickly. I apologize. What this is a representation of is the commitment of a shared group. It is a commitment of an administration, of faculty, of classified, and our student assistants who are our employees. They're not just student workers. Our student assistants in particular are cross-trained. They handle admissions and records and duties across the student services. Here's some other staff, from our cashiers and to this Palmdale staff and some of our student assistants. I'm proud and grateful to them for their dedication, their commitment to, again, student success. So how do we serve the campus committee? We do so in a few different ways. The call center has, year to date, had 13 call campaigns and that have focused on enrollment management, Umoja, the RISE program, and honors, and to date has made 5,099 calls. These calls allow, again, enrollment management or RISE for obstacles to be removed for students to progress further. Our front desk has entertained 2,547 inquiries by the phone or in person and has assisted those students in their academic journey. Our produce pickup, we've been able to serve 995 individuals and to help them, hopefully, to minimize the effects of food insecurity. The Avanti Market, which we piloted year to date, we have had a total of $28,647 of sales with minimal loss. In extended learning, we continue to build partnerships with Ed2Go, Career Step, and Restaurant Success. We are in discussions with other groups with project management and some other trainings that will help develop our workforce development programs. Again, I express appreciation for all of those at the Palmdale Center that make this possible. I acknowledge our partners in student services. That includes counseling, OSD, CalWorks, and admission support. We do not do this alone. In terms of our enrollment here at the Palmdale Center, in fall 24, we had 4,244, and then in spring grew to 4,585. I won't spend much time on the other metrics, but it indicates the work that is being done here at Palmdale. It also indicates what type of student we have here, whether, again, part-time to full-time, the ethnicity and the gender. This helps us to make informed decisions. It also helps us to understand that most of our students, for example, are part-time students. We've often heard the encouragement of moving students from 6 to 9 or 9 to 12 credits, and we hope to continue to encourage that as we meet with our students here through student services. Generally speaking, our goal, perhaps I should say my goal, is to have 100 face-to-face sections each semester. I acknowledge and I'm grateful for my peers in the academic affairs. The deans and the department chairs and the faculty look at the schedules and are tirelessly working to create sections here at Palmdale. In fall of '22, we had a highlight of 97 sections. This particular fall, we had 91, and spring, we saw a decline for a variety of reasons to 68 in face-to-face sections. That is part of a total of 653 sections that's offered through Palmdale, which offers, again, a picture of online and face-to-face sections. So our goals as we reach into 24-26 are these 5. Again, I won't exhaust through the bullet points itself, but these are the 5 goals. Expand program offerings, improve student success, increase student support services, strengthen community partnerships, and improve facilities and infrastructure. To date, program pathways that can be accomplished or completed rather here in Palmdale include the Child and Family Education CERT and AA, the Administration of Justice Associate for Transfer, the EMT certification, as well as the IMTA apprenticeship, which is the Industrial Manufacturing Technical Apprenticeship. These are programs that can be done solely here at Palmdale. In the future, we are looking to build that to include business administration, as well as to build increasing sections of the GE pathways. These pathways are a combination of both face-to-face and online sections. What this allows us to do moving forward is to then target as well as market to this region in the AV that you can come to Palmdale and do, again, these particular programs and that you can move forward in the academic journey. Finally, coming in fall 25, as we talk about program expansion and increasing access, we are looking at building out the aerospace welding and electrical technology labs at the Palmdale Tech Center. This will allow us to both double the program and its capacity and its enrollment, support industry demands, as well as increase access to CTE programs. We're also pleased to announce work on the Anatomy and Physiology Classroom Lab in the Palmdale Classroom Building. That will also provide program development, increase enrollment, specifically in gateway courses for impacted programs. And then we were also looking at program expansion of the medical assisting classroom lab here in the Palmdale Classroom Building. Such growth indicates the district's desire and commitment to growing here at the Palmdale Center. Our growth is the district's growth. Our victories are the district's victories. We look to continue to work within all of the divisions to support their commitment to the goals of the district and to the institutional learning outcomes and to really the principles of the AVC serves. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions or comments from the board? Excellent presentation. Thank you, Ben. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. I do have one public comment card for 12.3, Professor Kimberly Parker.
Good evening, esteemed board, colleagues, and honored guests here. I stand before you today with immense pride and gratitude, unable to pass up this opportunity to speak about the joy of being the tenure chair for Gabriella Foreman. Today, I celebrate an extraordinary individual, as we all do, and it has truly been one of the greatest honors of my professional life to serve in this role for Gabriella. My time as Gabby's tenure chair has been a remarkable journey of reciprocal exchanges and growth. We have spent many hours together throughout this process, engaging in meaningful discussions and brainstorming innovative ideas. From our initial meetings to our ongoing collaborations, it became clear that this experience would not just be about guiding her. It would be a mutual learning opportunity that enriched both of our lives. Her passion for teaching and her innovative approaches have inspired me to reflect on my own practices and embrace new ideas. She is a beacon of inspiration and a cornerstone of our campus community. Her commitment to her students is unparalleled, transforming classrooms into vibrant spaces for exploration and growth. Beyond her role as a professor, Gabby has tirelessly worked as a member of multiple campus committees to build bridges and foster collaboration. Her innovative curriculum designs reflect her understanding of her students' needs and her commitment to their success. She continually shows us that together we can achieve greatness that no individual could accomplish alone. Even in the face of hardship, Gabby greets each day with an unwavering smile. Her resilience and positivity are truly contagious, reminding us all of the importance of perseverance and joy in our work. I have learned so much from her about the power of kindness and compassion in our daily interactions. Through her example, I have grown, and I know many on campus have. Gabriella does not just contribute to our college, she enriches our entire community. Her efforts reach far and wide, impacting those who walk through our campus and countless individuals beyond it. There is truly no one more deserving of being granted tenure tonight than Gabriella Poorman. She exemplifies excellence in every facet of her life, and we are all better for knowing her. As we look forward to the future, I am excited to continue collaborating with her and learning her wisdom. It is a privilege, a true privilege, to call her not only my colleague, but my friend. In the words of Maya Angelou, I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Gabby, you have made us all feel inspired, valued, and capable of greatness. Thank you for being you. I celebrate you today and always.
Thank you. 12.1, approval of the consent agenda items by unanimous consent. May I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. And I believe at this point, we are going to be handing out certificates to our newly tenured faculty.
Good evening, President of the Board, Trustees, Dr. Zealot, and all the guests. It is truly my pleasure and honor to announce the tenure and introduce the candidates whose names I'm going to call in a second. Tenure is a significant milestone in an academic year, recognizing years of dedication, excellence in teaching and service to our institution, like we heard about Gabby a second ago. It reflects the commitment of the faculty to contribute to student success and the broader academic community. Today, I am pleased to introduce the faculty who have met the rigorous criteria for tenure. Their hard work and commitment to our mission have strengthened our institution already. And I have many examples I can talk about, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. The many programs they created, the innovations they introduced, and on and on. So please join me in celebrating and supporting the following outstanding educators. I'm going to mention just 3. There are others, but we're going to mention the ones who are here present in person. First, I would like to call up Professor Mark Gilman from the Fire Technology program. Dean Wendy Stout is going to tell us a little bit about him.
Mark Gelman has spent 37 years as a career firefighter in Riverside County. After retiring, he has become teaching, and he is now getting ready to graduate our 3rd class of cadets since the rebuild after COVID took its place. So thank you, Mark.
Okay, next I would like to call Professor Osvaldo Larios Perez, please. And Osvaldo is from the biology department. And to tell us a little bit about him is Dean Jerry Lobos.
Good evening, everyone. Ooh, good evening, everyone. Ozzy's been with us for a little over a decade now, and you know, I've known Ozzy for quite a few years. I've worked with him obviously at AVC for that time, but we were actually lab mates at Cal State University Northridge. So this is a really great pleasure to be here tonight to officially say congratulations to Ozzy for being a wonderful, wonderful faculty member. So thank you, Ozzy.
Okay, and last, I'm going to introduce Professor Gabby Perman from the business department, and you already heard how wonderful it is to have Gabby at ABC. She already, come on in. In the 3 years, she has left a big mark on ABC. And to tell us about her is Wendy. Covering for
Yep. Gabby Porman has taught at Antelope Valley College for 7 years in the Business and Computer Science Department. During her time at Antelope Valley College, she has served on multiple committees on campus and engaged in interdisciplinary collaboration efforts to design a curriculum across different departments and divisions to enhance student educational experiences and careers. And I have to say, I have worked with Gabby on several committees, and she's awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the newly tenured faculty. Action items.
President Adams, if I may, prior to reading the action items, may I request that we pull 13.2 and reschedule it for next month?
Thank you.
I second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Advice?
I'm going to abstain on that.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with 5 yes votes, so 13.2 will be coming back next month. Okay, 13.1, selection of one board member to serve on the hiring committee for the Director of Board and Executive Services, Strategic Initiatives, and Government Relations. Do I have any volunteers or motions to appoint somebody? Michael and Barbara? Would someone make a motion to appoint both Michael Reeves and Barbara Gaines to that committee? So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes, and thank you very much for volunteering. 13.3, approval of Antelope Valley Community College District initial proposal to the Antelope Valley College Federation of Classified, should I have, Pam Ford, did you want to talk about 13.2? Okay. 13.3, approval of Antelope Valley Community College District initial proposal to the Antelope Valley College Federation of Classified Employees for collective bargaining agreement negotiations for 2025, 2028. May I hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.4, approval of Antelope Valley Community College District initial proposal to the Antelope Valley Federation of Teachers for collective bargaining agreement negotiations for 2025 to 2028. May I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.5, consideration of California Community College Trustees Board election for 2025. There's 4 candidates that we need to vote on. Does anybody have a suggestion for which 4 we should vote for the board election? And I know Mr. Reeves is running for the board.
I'm sorry, President Adams, I didn't hear you.
Is there a motion to select 4 candidates for our election to the CCCD board election. And Mr. Reeves is a candidate, so bear that in mind.
So move. Are we picking someone else?
We're asking for 4 names.
Okay.
Or we could just do Michael Reeves, which strengthens his power in the vote. I know other community colleges have done that in the past.
Can we do Michael Reeves 4 times?
Mr. President, I would like to vote only or select only Michael Reeves as our
Vote.
nominee or vote for the,
I second that.
yeah.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Michael, and I hope for the best.
Thank you all.
13.6, approval of 2025 Community College, California Community College Classified Employee of the Year nomination. And we have 3 nominees. Do we have to pick one or all 3? One. And so we have Michelle Luna, Michelle Shuttlecorb, and Cheryl Williams.
I'd like to go with Michelle Scottocorn.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? What was that?
Am I allowed a motion?
Yeah.
You're on the board.
Don't get in the habit of doing that.
Can, yes.
Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. Congratulations, Michelle. (13.7) Approval of partnership agreement between Antelope Valley Soccer LLC, AV Alta FC, and Antelope Valley College for community engagement and marketing opportunities. May I hear a motion?
Second?
Discussion?
Yes. Mr. President, I think this is $33,000 a year, and I really don't know, does that mean we're going to have our name on the billboard or what, President Jones?
We will have advertisement at all the home games. We will also be able to have AVC night where we get to give out materials about AVC and little tchotchke things and that kind of stuff. And we'll also be able to show videos on the scoreboard and that kind of thing. So it's good publicity.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.8, approval of the 2025 Spring Non-Traditional Men's Soccer Sports Schedule. May I hear a motion?
Second.
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.9, approval of destruction of documents, Class 2 optional and Class 3 disposable. May I hear a motion? Discussion?
Yes.
Advice? Oh, sorry.
I have a question about the Class 2 optional. How are we choosing that?
Pulling that board for
Okay. I
So
thought it was
we-
pretty self-explainable about the disposable ones, but when they're optional, how do you decide and protect the district with this document?
we abide by the CASBO document retention guidelines.
Okay.
And so where we can, or where there's not a regulatory requirement to keep documents, we do try to shred them, otherwise we continue to gather documents and storage is limited. But I can provide the specifics to you in a follow-up on the optional.
No, I just wanted to make sure that you had a system in place.
We use the CASBO document retention manual as our guide.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.10, approval of professional services agreement between Team Civ X LLC and the Antelope Valley College for bond election consulting services. May I hear a motion?
Second?
Discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. Last year, we had two bond measures that passed in the AV. It was one for the Lancaster School District and one was for the high school district. And we didn't put a bond out for obvious different reasons. If I understand right now, the college is in debt for almost $500 million for bond measures. And now we want to put out another bond measure. The interest on those bonds are paid by the property taxpayers. And so we're going to get a hit, the next property tax bill for those two bond measures that passed last year, in addition to having waste management on our property tax bill. And if this passes, we'll be hit again. So the question is, how do you pay back $500 million? And most of the time, you don't pay it back. It's refinanced, and it's a boondoggle, and I've said this all the time, for the rich and the powerful. And the vice president put out a statement that he had showed the different investors that purchased these bonds. Remember that, Mr. Vice President? And that field is not a big field. It's investment firms, and it's the rich and the powerful. So I'm not going along with any other bond measure till we find out how we're going to pay this money back and how long is this going to go on. Because the taxpayers cannot pay any more money out. And a lot of these municipal governments are going to be facing problems in the coming year. Los Angeles is supposed to be in trouble right now. I don't know what the cities up here are going to be facing with lower sales tax revenue and so forth. So I'm voting no on this, and the vice president has said he would give me more statistics on this. And if it's possible, I'd like to pull this and revisit. If not, I'm going to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
That's 4-1 with Mr. Reeves voting no. 13.11, approval of master field contract for services with Intelligence Systems and Solutions Incorporated from December 1st, 2024 through November 30th, 2027 for fire alarm, fire smoke, and fire sprinkler repairs. May I hear a motion?
Second?
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. Item 13.12, approval of field contract for services with One Silver LLC, DBA, ServPro Global, DRT, for the structure, contents, air handler, and duct cleaning at the administration building with catastrophic events funds. May I hear a motion?
So move.
Second?
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.13, approval to utilize the California Multiple Awards Schedule, CMAS, agreement with 22nd Century Technologies Incorporated for purchases of information technology goods and services. May I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. Item 13.14, approval to utilize the University of California and National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance Cooperative Agreement with Fastenal Company for the purchase of the Transfluid 2060-3A CNC mandrel tube bending machine with strong workforce funds. May I hear a motion?
So move.
Discussion?
Yes, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but can someone tell me what this is?
Me too.
Mr. Vice President, do you know what this is?
Dean Borman isn't here tonight. This is equipment for our CTE areas, Shabby.
I think it bends too.
Yeah, exactly, it bends tubes.
I was looking for Greg Borman, but he's not here this evening. But yeah, it's for TD
Okay,
program.
well, thank you very much.
It's a CTE.
Any further discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. I'll ask for the board's indulgence to incorporate 1315, 1316, and 1317, because they're all being paid for through scheduled maintenance funds. May I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. 13.18, approval of change order for Cedar Hall project number 18-021 with major AV funds. May I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Advice?
Approve.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with 5 yes votes. We'll move on to reports and announcements. 14.1, Academic Senate, Hal Huntsman.
Good evening, trustees, President Zealot, Mr. Wang, Ms. McClure. I am very proud to stand before you. As you heard earlier, we did grant 7 of our colleagues tonight tenure. In addition to the 3 that you've already heard about, I do want to mention the other names, even though they're in the agenda. I think they deserve to be spoken. They are Joshua Shipp in biology, Brian Moses, who teaches in kinesiology, health education, fire technology, and coaches baseball. Lori Gilroy, who teaches in wildland file technology, and Noah Halleck, who teaches psychology. Congratulations to them all, in addition to the 3 that we already spoke to. I do want to just mention again the work that this represents. For them, it's 4 years of being scrutinized, turning in self-evaluations and preparing and just documenting everything that they do to really show that they're being a participant in our community and really upstanding members of our faculty. It is not automatic that you get tenure, and so it is a tense thing for them, and this is the culmination of that 4 years of work, and really in some ways a relief. They just get to breathe a little bit and go, okay, now I can keep doing what I've been doing, but maybe not with everybody looking over my shoulder every second. I do also want to acknowledge the work of the committees that do this work, that if they wouldn't be receiving tenure if we didn't have committees of other faculty and the deans who are working to look at the faculty and to mentor them. That mentoring aspect is actually a very important part of the tenure process. I also want to acknowledge the staff who makes sure that all the paperwork gets filed and all those things happen, because all those pieces have to happen in order to come to this day. So I just want to thank all the folks that were involved. Otherwise, I just want to mention that we are in week 6 of our semester. It never seems to slow down. In some ways, this is a great moment because we're celebrating tenure, but it's also just another day in the semester for them as well as for all of us faculty working with our students. And that's really the work that we do here at the college, and that's really the point of tenure, in my opinion, is to continue that work. So thank you and good night.
Mr. Huntsman, I have a wine walk ticket for you.
Thank you very much.
And just as a side note, it's a very low number, 004. Traditionally, during the raffles at the wine walk, the low numbers are the ones that win. Just bear that in mind because I still have 6 tickets.
Thank you.
Low numbers.
Thank you, Trustee Adams. I do have a check for you, Trustee Gaines. And actually, of course, written to the foundation, just for the record. And so I will be getting my ticket from Trustee Gaines later, just so that we're even.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love loyalty. Thank you.
14.2, Antelope Valley College Federation of Teachers, Dr. Bowen.
I will write a check. Trustee Buffalo said something that stuck with me at the prior board meeting, and I'm grateful for your remarks. I'd like to comment on some of the statements that you made. One of the statements you made was, I quote, "I just think you need to get more positive people to look at this campus differently than we hear at the mic," unquote. I understand that. You hear great things from some, but you're not hearing great things, apparently, from the faculty union. I personally would love to focus on the good news, but it's difficult when there's a tremendous amount of bad news. There is a tremendous amount of bad news. That comes with the job, I suppose. It's difficult when the decisions the administration makes adversely affects people's lives and the lives of their families who have to endure the decisions that were made regarding their careers and people who live to serve our community. Yes, our students succeed, and they are great students. I have some of the greatest students this semester I have ever had my entire 13 years here at Antelope Valley College. Yes, families are grateful for the programs we offer because AVC is a bright beacon of hope and light in the community. That is what we all work for. However, though the community acknowledges how amazing AVC is, that does not mean that we can pretend that everything is fine and ignore the very real injustices that others are facing, and many of you are aware of these. Mr. Buffalo also said it takes two to tango, but the relationship between the union and the district is not a dance. The relationship is not symmetric. We do not make personnel decisions. We do not decide to fire someone. We do not withhold critical information until the very last minute, leaving employees scrambling to mount a defense. We do not change the rules in the middle of the game. We do not apply one set of standards to faculty and another standard to administrators. We do not decide to keep an employee on administrative leave for over a year when the law limits it to 90 days. We do not decide to take the most extreme action possible when a more reasonable approach is warranted. So what are we supposed to do? Look the other way? I can't. Because that is not accountability, that is not leadership, and it's certainly not fairness. I appreciate you trying to be open and fair, and I hope it continues, and I have no doubt it will, but fairness is not just about acknowledging that maybe sometimes we should, quote, look at things differently. Fairness requires action. It requires a commitment to ensuring that due process is upheld, that policies are followed, and that employees are treated with dignity, not as problems to be managed, but as people who serve this institution with dedication. If you are hearing different stories from different people, I ask you, who benefits from you believing that everything is fine? I don't think you believe that everything is fine. And who suffers when you ignore what you're hearing at this mic, if you're ignoring what's said at this mic? I urge you not to dismiss what we are saying simply because others have had different experiences. We are not here because we want to be, we're here because we have to be, because there are real problems that this board has the power and the responsibility to address. The question is, will you? Thank you.
Thank you. 14.3, Antelope Valley College Federation of Classified Employees, Pamela Ford.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Zealot, Mr. Wong, Patty. At the last board meeting, there was a statement made about consequences for exercising freedom of speech. Let me clarify. My responsibility as union president is to speak on behalf of my constituent group. That's the role of the union. There is a hefty, costly consequence if the right to freedom of speech is attacked. Those who have served on the board are well aware the district violated freedom of speech rights in the past, and the consequence was paying 2 hefty fines, hence cause and effect. Last week I attended frisk training. The training was called From Supervisor to Leader. Responsibilities repairing relationships of trust and infusing the practice of civility in the workplace. And I keep asking myself over and over again, as I see the annoyance on your faces because we come forward with concerns about what's going on with our constituent groups. And I keep asking myself what's missing. And then this training brought it to a head, gave it a word, civility. Building trust is simple. A leader is a model for the team. They should acknowledge mistakes, address how to move forward, and apologize. This places the responsibility on the leader to build the trust, repair the relationships, and infuse civility and respect into the workplace. This is from your training, not from me. Civility is sorely lacking on this campus. Sadly, this isn't, Antelope Valley College has issues that need to be repaired. Trust is broken and needs repairing. Relationships are becoming splintered instead of resolving issues. Employees are more prone than ever to file complaints against one another instead of talking to one another. And district administrators enhance the negativity by being quick with the pen to apply or enforce some type of disciplinary action instead of applying the training. Frisk training is a reasonable solution, and there's no seeking input from employees involved to find a solution. It's easy to blame the unions for their response to the district's punitive actions towards employees, which results in grievances and unfortunately costly perp charges. And as I sat through the training, I realized the guidance being shared follows the quote Ms. Michelle Harvey shared. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. But I live in hope. So how do we hit the reset button and move forward? Well, it's easy. You've paid for it. Simply apply the training that you provide to each manager and require that they put it into practice. Now, I listened to what you said this afternoon, the statement about, speaking to the board. So I have a question, which I know you can't and shouldn't answer tonight. Where is the language that states we cannot communicate or correspond with our elected officials, our board members? Michelle Harvey, I live in your district, and if I have a question or a concern, I'm gonna ask you, because we in classified endorsed you to get in office. And we told you up front that we didn't expect a yes all the time, but we did expect due diligence and a responsibility to look into things. I ask this question because I have the training manual for board members, and I've read it from cover to cover because sometimes I just don't understand what's going on here. And I can't find anywhere where it says we can't speak with our constituent leaders. So I'm going to communicate with our leaders, and I'm hoping that they'll communicate freely with constituents. So thank you for your time.
At no point in the statement I read did I say it was unauthorized to speak to our Board of Trustees. I simply requested as a favor to include the executive staff on those emails because they're going to get those emails anyway. So I never said that. I never said that. And you just said it twice. So who's wrong? 14.4, confidential management supervisor administrator employees, Ashley Hawkins.
Good evening. I want to start by saying congratulations to the faculty members who got tenure tonight, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge the way that Professor Gabby was spoken of is something so remarkable. To have a colleague get up and say such wonderful things about you really does speak volumes to what she's doing in the classroom. and I think that we can't take that for granted. As we celebrate Women's History Month, I want to take the opportunity to honor the remarkable women across our campus, specifically our students. We had the pleasure of attending the President's Women's History Month event in Student Services Building last Friday, where several students came to hang photos on the wall of women who had impacted their lives. And we got to spend time with these students and hearing some of the stories. I was far too emotional to be there. But there were stories of loss and, students so young who had lost their mothers or their grandmothers who had had such great impacts on their life. And they talked about how having such remarkable women in leadership at the college really gave them something to look up to. And so I just wanted to acknowledge the students and the struggles that they face on a daily basis, but also the work that the staff, faculty, administrators, and my lovely women trustees inspire us every day. The leadership, resilience, and contributions of women to higher education and to AVC as a whole are remarkable and serve our institution and broader community wonderfully. It really is an honor to serve alongside you all.
Thank you. Associated Student Organization, Renee Lynn Wilson.
Hello, Board of Trustees, President Zealot. Hi, Patty. I don't know your name, but hi. So ASO, currently, we have ordered canopies, and they have actually arrived, and we donate 6 of them to the campus for any use they see fit. And we will actually launch them on social media soon, along with the facilities team, to sort of have a good collaboration with that. We also have given so far $16,193 in emergency grants to students. We also collaborated with Victor Valley College's Student Body Association. They visited our campus March 7th, and we gave them a tour of the campus along with a presentation on how our student government is run. The goal between this collaboration is for both associations to visit the other's campus to give a more in-depth information on how the prospective governments work, and also to look at the campuses to see how we could better each other and help the students, because they may have a different way than us and we may have a different way than them. All in all, it was a huge success, and we do plan to visit them April 25th. We are also excited for our upcoming trip to Washington, D.C. to attend the National Student Advocacy Conference. We will be leaving Thursday morning, and we'll also be very diligent in representing Antelope Valley College. Also, for Black History Month, because I didn't get to report last month, we had movies every Wednesday in our hub space, and we also had a very successful trivia game at the end of the month. And we also, for Valentine's Day, had a very student engaging scavenger hunt that took place February 12th and the 13th. We also have 4 new senators, and ASO will continue on our work to enhance student engagement and spread awareness on the student representation at the school to give better help to students. Thank you.
Thank you. Antelope Valley College Foundation, Diane Knippel.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. Thank you so much for the Wine Walk sponsor and selling of tickets. Wine Walk again, April 26th. Sponsorships are going great guns. Tickets are going great guns. So I expect a sellout crowd again this year, so get your tickets soon. One good thing that's happened now, we have closed our scholarship season for applications, and we had a record number of a 63% increase. So we have a little over 450 applications, so it's a great increase. I do want to thank our marketing team, as well as Emily Moulton, who runs our scholarship program, for reaching out to faculty members as well to be able to talk about it in their classrooms. So if anybody has any interest in reading scholarships, let me know, and I know some of you do. So thank you again for your support, and it's going to be a great season to be able to give a lot of money out again. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Office of Superintendent President, Dr. Zillette.
Anyone needing a lesson in politics, I hope you were watching Hal. He got one from each board member who was selling tickets, so good job, Hal. Good evening, trustees and student trustee. As always, the campus is busy doing the great work that is accomplished in serving students. But even more than usual, the campus spent last month celebrating Black History Month, hosting the Independent Film Festival. AVC Reads has been meeting to discuss their chosen book. We've had mental health seminars, Red Cross Blood Drive, Dreamer Center Dine and Dialogue, special comics and manga exhibit in the AVC Library, a future educators workshop, athletic events, and the local swearing-in ceremony for Congressman George Whitesides, and so much more. It's been a busy month. After the February board meeting, Trustee Gaines and I went to Washington, D.C. for the ACCT Advocacy and Action event. We had several days of highly informative meetings, trainings, and time to meet with our congressman. At every opportunity, we advocated for AVC and community colleges, and I'm happy to report that 2 focal points of our visit have gained traction, and we are hoping to see very positive results: workforce Pell Grants and the reauthorization of WIOA. Both of those things have very positive impacts for our students, and interestingly enough, everyone, regardless of party politics, is interested in students getting to work. So we found some common ground. It takes the combined energies of so many to keep AVC running smoothly, and my gratitude goes out to all who work at AVC. Tonight we have a couple of awards to share with the Board of Trustees, and so I would like to start with an award that came from Bank Mobile, and this goes to a service, an office that doesn't get a lot of front spotlight, but this is about, it's reflective of the hard work. I'll read the letter from Bank Mobile. The Bank Mobile Disbursements team is pleased to present Antelope Valley Community College District with the 2023 ACE Award. The ACE Award recognizes our partner institutions who, here's the ACE, achieve campus efficiency by dispersing more than 90% of all refunds electronically and promoting the refund disbursement program and process so that more than 40% of all students, regardless of financial eligibility, complete the refund selection process. From January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2024, Antelope Valley Community College District processed 34,039 disbursements through the Bank Mobile Disbursement Platform. 95.31% of those disbursements were delivered electronically, qualifying you as a 2024 ACE Award honoree. At the end of the day, what this means is our students get their disbursements efficiently and quickly electronically. We don't have to push so much paper, and it really is indicative of the hard work that our fiscal services department does. So is Tamara Steffes here tonight? Was she? Okay, well, so here is the ACE Award, you can see, for leading one of the most efficient disbursement programs in the county. So this is for our financial aid, or fiscal services team. Likewise, in a moment, I'll share some of my time with Drs. Bakeet and Farley and Dean Stout. Unfortunately, Dean Borman couldn't be here, but the 5 of us were the team that will talk about AVC's participation in the Bellwether competition. The theme this year was, quote, exceptionally innovative and data-driven, Bellwether colleges build economic prosperity, end quote. There were 3 categories for competition. 1, instructional planning and services. 2, planning, governance, and finance. 3, workforce development. There were 10 national finalists in each category, and each finalist college presented their project. Our submission was entitled Revolutionizing Career Advancement Through Community College Degrees at Antelope Valley College. Special thanks to Dr. Farley for taking the lead on the project, and also to the marketing department for creating materials such as our digital binder and our student video. I believe you have copies, paper copies of our digital binder that you can look at. While we did not bring home the first place trophy, showcasing the great work at AVC to a full room was an invaluable experience. And so this trophy was so intimidated to be presented to the board that it fainted and broke in 2, but we'll fix it. But the part of the trophy that has words on it says, Bellwether College Consortium 2025 Bellwether Award finalist. So I would like to invite the participants to just come up and briefly share with the board some of your takeaways from our trip to San Antonio.
I'm just gonna say that 90 plus colleges applied to be considered for the award. To be one of 10 in the category says a lot about AVC. We are an outstanding college, and I know if you say it and if you believe it, you are it and you be it. And so that's what I'm going with.
I just wanted to take a moment and thank you for believing in us and these processes. We got to go and present about the baccalaureate programs, but these have been years and years in the making, and your investment in this opportunity has been phenomenal for our students. The student voices in the video that we were able to share, many people came up and shared with us that that was the most poignant part, to hear the stories of lives transformed by AVC. So if you haven't seen the video yet, I'll encourage you to take a quick minute. It's really powerful. Thank you so much.
I'm going to give it from the perspective of I've been at AVC since the beginning of the first baccalaureate program, when we first decided, hey, which program were we going to put forward? With Dr. Cal at the time, I was a full-time faculty member, and so we put forward degrees. And sadly, the respiratory one didn't get decided on at that point. But here we are, we now have the bachelor's in respiratory care along with our AFMT baccalaureate degree. Both are succeeding very well right now, and that's great for the students. And so going and presenting was amazing. But I'll tell you, I brought home more with me than just what I took to the presentation. I brought home ideas and networking contacts that will carry several of our programs through probably the next 10 years. I came home with so many ideas and contacts that I'm excited and ready to take them to the next Bellwether Award.
Thank you so much, Wendy. And while we didn't bring home the first place trophy in our category, I am firmly convinced that we were second place, because the only program that could rival the coolness of, a classroom and a hangar was a project in Kentucky where the local coal mine had shut down, and the college acquired the coal mine, the site, and they actually turned that into a CTE training center. So, as cool as it is to have your CTE training center in a coal mine, the narrative of this place that had been a community tragedy now being a place of community training, that's kind of hard to beat. But we were right up there. So I'm so proud of AVC, and you guys know, if you give me a minute, I'll be bragging on the college. I just want to thank everyone who makes Antelope Valley College a destination college and a place of excellence. And I want to give this month special thanks to the women of Antelope Valley College and the influence and the change that you make and the students' lives that you change. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Board member comments, Mr. Rivera.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to also extend my congratulations to all the tenured faculty members. It's an amazing accomplishment, and thank you so much for all that you do for our students. Now that we are at our 6-week mark, we are nearing our midterms, and I encourage all of our students to look for the study jams that are going to be in the Learning Center in these next couple of weeks, so you can help prepare for your midterms. And as for the wine walk, I don't think I'm old enough to buy a check. But I do support you in that.
You're not missing anything.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. They do have excellent hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, I'll have to try it out.
Thank you. Ms. Harvey?
I just want to say congratulations to those who achieved tenure. That's a big deal. There's a comfort in knowing where you fit and knowing that you belong. So that's really important. Congratulations. Ms. Wilson, I wanted to say if those covers are canvas for the canopies that you're sharing with the school, that you may want to take a few to the art department, acrylic on canvas, you'd be surprised with what they'll come up with. Okay, and that will make them very unique to your campus. So I just want to throw that out there. Ms. Ford, call me anytime. And any other constituent in Area 1, we are here to work together on behalf of our community. And lastly, I wanted to say, because it is Women's Month, that I noticed when Mr. Ryder did his presentation, that 64% of the students who come here to the Palmdale Center. I live in Palmdale, so I'm just going to brag for 2 seconds on the Palmdale Center. That it's over 64%. That lets us know that those are mothers, caregivers, traditional roles that women play. And so to be a space to know that you are promoting women in your community, that is really wonderful. Not to count from neighbors, I hear about the food pickup and what a help, all of the services that this center provides to the community. And that's really important. So thank you for what's happening here, and Dr. Zalat for what's going on at the college. And we are always hoping that things are constantly improving. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reeves?
First of all, I want to congratulate all the tenured professors. That's a great achievement. I want to thank the board for voting for me to be a candidate for the California Community College League. That consists of over 500 trustees in the state of California, and I'm honored to be considered for the board and thankful. I want to thank the board also for appointing me to a committee to help fill the position of Secretary and Director of Board Service. Patty can't be replaced ever, but we're going to get somebody to fill the seat. Finally, I want to let all of you know that we are elected by districts, but as a board, we represent everyone. So if you ever have any complaints or comments, you can see my name on the AVC email system. Feel free to reach out to me, and the unions know that I meet with them regularly. So I'm here to help you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gaines?
Thank you. First, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Sellett and Antelope Valley Community College. It was truly an honor to go to DC and represent our wonderful community college. I met so many, not only community college board members across the nation, but people who were there advocating for primarily the Pell Grant, and they all understood how significant that grant was for the students that they educate on a daily basis. I also wanted to just let everybody know that one thing that I observed while I was there 5 days with Dr. Sellett was how absolutely well-liked and respected she is in that community college league. And so many people, so many other presidents would come up and talk to her. It was just sort of wonderful to sit back and watch that. I had, on a little side note, it was a very memorable trip for me for many reasons. But one of them was I ran into a mentor of mine from 30 years ago who went on. She was a principal, became a superintendent in the Antelope Valley, became a superintendent in Bakersfield, went on to become a congresswoman and then a senator. And she now works for the Community College League as sort of as an advisor. And I ran into her after many, many, many years. And it was like really, a memory that I will never forget. She was at the conference. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. I want to say to our 7 faculty members who earned tenure, nobody ever gives tenure. You truly earn tenure. If you've ever received any kind of tenure before, you know it is not easy, and you have to go through many hurdles, and it's a lot of focused work. And I just want to say to those 7 people, thank you, first of all, for pursuing tenure, and it is such an honor to have you on our faculty list. And now you can breathe a little bit, I suppose that's the best way to put it, but typically the faculty who earn tenure, they will never, that's just not their personality. They will continue to strive and work hard every step of the way. And I want to say to Mr. Buffalo, you're going to love this, I hope. I have friends whose son pitches for LA Valley Community College, and they were up here last week. And the first thing that the father did was call and say, "Oh my, that baseball field at Antelope Valley College looks like a D1 field. Why you didn't tell me?" I'm like, "What? You needed to know that? I don't know. It's bad enough that we beat you." But he was absolutely amazed at how beautiful the baseball field was at Antelope Valley Community College. So, yeah, thank you. And I do have your ticket, Mr. Huntsman, just waiting for you. I think I've sold pretty much committed all 10 of mine. I may need more. Yes, I may need more.
Clearly, no one needs to buy any more tickets from you. Thank you, Mr. Buffalo.
Well, I still got to pick up my tickets. I will pick one up from Mike. I got it. So I will follow up on Barbara's comment about the baseball. And yes, when I used to play in that baseball field many years ago, back in Colt League, when I played there, it was an awful field. Just trust me on that. It was grass and spots and everything. And now it really is an incredible facility. In that game against LA Valley, that final game, interesting, is our player of the year, state player of the year from last year, Cody Turner, who is our version of Shohei Ohtani, because he can hit and pitch. And he threw the final game, he threw 9 innings, all 9 innings. He gave up 1 run and struck out 14 hitters. Amazing performance. And baseball is 15-4, and our baseball coach got tenure. So that's a good thing. So, and congratulations to everybody who got tenure, who earned tenure. I know it's not easy. I don't know that I could deal with that. I'm like, I worked in newspapers and city government, not this kind of stuff. So anyway, the softball team is also doing quite well. They are 17-4. And I want to mention something that it happened a long time ago. We used to have an international film festival. It was a pretty big deal back in the day. Our instructor left, and we didn't have it for a few years, but we are getting it back, and we had our, I don't know if it's the second one back. Second one. This past weekend, and I understand it went very well, and that's a really cool thing that we have that, and we're able to do things, and those are great student programs. So, and they're great for the community. But you look at what's going on at this college, there's so many things happening for students. I mean, not only do we have Black History Month, but we have International Women's Day and Month. And enrollment, my understanding is going up. That's a really cool thing. We had a future educators workshop, was really cool thing, and it went very well. So we're doing so many really good things, and that's why I emphasize the positive. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to look and focus at this and that, and I get it. Unions are unions, and that's what they do. But I expect other people to notice the other stuff, because we're here about the students. That's our main mission, the students and the community. And we don't say that enough. And I think that's a positive that we need to understand clearly. And that's it.
Thank you. Okay, there will be no need to go back into closed session, and our date of our next meeting is April 14th, 2025. It will be at the Performing Arts Theater at the Lancaster campus, and we are adjourned.